Morning, guys, and welcome to Mitch's Music. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about the worst advice I've heard about buying your first guitar. And it's this like wives' tale or something like that that has been around for years. And we're heading into Thanksgiving week coming up. There's going to be a lot of sales out there. There's going to be deals. You're going to be buying stuff. And guitars might be one of those things. And especially if you're a parent buying a guitar for your kid, I wanted to make this video to save some poor soul out there, some poor kid out there that's going to get this guitar and it's going to be all excited about it, and then it's just not going to be what he wants. And so the worst advice for buying a guitar is that idea that you've got to start on acoustic. It might work if your kid is a big fan of like Bob Dylan or Willie Nelson or Elvis. Um, but in general, most of the stuff that your kids listening to, you're listening to, is better played on an electric guitar. So unless your child or you just want an acoustic guitar, there's absolutely no reason to start on an acoustic guitar. I don't know where this idea first arrived from. I can only assume that it had something to do with prices to begin with, but nowadays, you would to get a good acoustic guitar that is not um, like the action is not horrible on and plays fairly decently and sounds okay, you are going to pay the same price as getting like a Fender starter electric kit. And once you get that electric guitar, you um, you have so many more options now than just that amp that came with your guitar, because the amp isn't the greatest. The guitar can do a lot more with all kinds of other stuff that you can get now. Like with this iPad I'm using right now, I can buy, there are several devices out there that you can plug your guitar into your iPad and get several more sounds out of with Amplitude and other things like that. So there's so much software out there available for electric guitars. And so if you have an acoustic guitar, you won't have that option unless you buy an acoustic electric. And at that point, you're already paying $300-400. I think you can get one for about that price now, maybe a little cheaper, but for around $300, you can also get a Fender or Gibson starter pack, and it's just going to be more versatile and last longer, in my opinion. And there's absolutely no difference between the two, except for possibly an electric guitar is a little bit easier to play in most instances. Um, and so don't go with that old advice that is outdated, and just go and buy what you want and don't follow this idea of you've got to start this way, you've got to start on an acoustic guitar, because what's going to happen if you aren't like a singer songwriter and doing things like that, what's going to happen is you're going to put it down and never come back to it. I mean, I started on an acoustic guitar, but I'm really only took off once I got an electric. And that had something to do with the music store closing and not getting back into lessons until later. But I got an electric guitar, and that's when I really took off. So think about it. Check out the. I'm gonna do some videos on some of as I see the deals come out. I'm gonna do some videos on some of my favorite guitars that are on sale. I'm gonna do that for brand new beginners. Like if I was a beginner, this is the guitar I would buy. I'm also going to do a video on some of my favorite guitars at the time. Now I'm not going to be able to audition any of these guitars. These are just going to be off of things that I've seen. Like if I had a couple of $1,000, these are the guitars I would buy right now. Um, so I don't have any sponsorships or anything like that. So I won't be able to show you the guitars, but I will link to some videos of other people that have auditioned these guitars. So stay tuned for that. So I'll do some beginner guitars, some intermediate guitars, and some guitars that I would buy. And so stay tuned for that. Don't buy the acoustic unless you really want one. I'll see you in the next video.